I'll start it. This will change to live.
Hey everybody, welcome to Lecture 6 of Intro to Hebrew 101. There's a lot of folks asking me about the final and asking me about homework. Listen, every assignment that I give you, I want you to turn it in, okay? And it doesn't matter if it's late, it doesn't, here's what I want to get out of you, just in case you're thinking, oh no, I must have missed something. I want you to be able to do accurate transliteration of the Hebrew characters into English characters. And I want you to rely on that, because if you'll do it the way we're telling you to do it, we're going to get your pronunciation really accurate. In fact, one of the students that some of you know, Jason, really already passed the final as far as I'm concerned. He sent me via email a recording of him singing the first two verses of Psalms 136, 1 through 2. So that's what I want you to do. There's two things I want you to be able to do with Psalms 136. I want you to be able to either sing it or just say it. And I want to know that you have an accurate grip on doing transliteration. I was talking to one of the guys today that's in the school out in Oregon, and he went into a shop nearby. They were talking about the stones and the breastplate, and they had a little diagram out there, and they were thinking that the Hebrew characters on the diagram was describing the stones in the priest's breastplate. And Mike was able to say, oh, no, these are the names of the various different tribes of Israel, because he recognized the Hebrew characters. Once you recognize the Hebrew characters and you can do a transliteration and put them into English, you got this. And then working from the familiar to the unfamiliar, and that's one of the great things to do, is to work with like the books of the Bible, because you already are familiar with these various different names. And when you read it in the Hebrew, it's not going to be that far away. Like, Joshua is going to be Yehoshua, but it's going to be somewhat recognizable, and at least there is going to be something that your brain and your intellect is able to relate to as you're doing this transliteration. And so hopefully all of you got this, that what I want you doing is I want you to accurately be working with transliteration, and knowing that that transliteration is going to get you to the place where you are pronouncing those Hebrew words very close to being correct or accurate. And I would even say close to 95% accuracy if all of the rules are being followed. So hopefully I've said this enough, I've repeated it enough that everybody understands this. We have a file on all of you, and some of you might be going, oh no, I've got a file on me. Yes, and there's supposed to be a module up right now on our website that allows you to turn in your homework. And please bear with us. We're just getting the school up and going. There was a lot of things that we could have done in preparation to getting the school up and going. I am extremely busy right now. If I would have said, okay, what is the most convenient time, I'd have waited till I wasn't really, really busy and that we had all of our, ducks in a row, so to speak. But we felt, no, let's just go ahead and start where we're at. And right now we're still, unfortunately, having to use the poor type of media visual aids that we're using right now. But give us to the 1st of November. By the time we get in to our second quarter, we're going to be up and running with fiber optics in Oregon, at the Oregon school. So everybody going to be able to assemble there. It's going to have the multimedia functioning so that everybody's going to be able to see what we're doing with greater clarity. We'll be able to use more nice things in terms of teaching aids. And same goes for the headquarters of school in San Diego. So just bear with us. Well, what I want to do tonight is I want to go over the first two verses of Psalms 136 with you once again. I'm going to show you another way to do transliteration. Actually, this is a Bible, and I'll show you this in a little bit. This is actually a Bible that you can buy that has a transliteration. And I don't suggest that you get it because we're not using the same symbols, but you can at least, if you did get it and you wanted to get it, you could convert the symbols and ultimately get to the same phonetic sounds that we're using right now with the transliteration equivalents that we've defined, okay? So I'm just going to read this to you. Hodu la Adonai ki tov ki leolam hasto. Hodu la Elohei ha-Elohim ki leolam hasto. That's really all I want you to be able to do. We're going to sing it tonight too, but I want to show you some things about it. We're going to sing it. There's several ways that there's several renditions of this that you can get on YouTube. One of the ones that we really like is Hodu la Adonai ki tov ki leolam hasto. Hodu la Elohei ha-Elohim ki leolam hasto. And so what you have in the song is more like Hodu la Adonai ki tov ki leolam hasto. Hodu la Adonai ki tov ki leolam hasto. Hodu, 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 hodu la Adonai ki tov. Hodu, 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 hodu la Adonai ki tov. I mean, what could be easier, right? You can do the chorus once again. Hodu la Adonai ki tov. I'll do the verse. Ki leolam hasto. Hodu la Adonai ki tov. Ki leolam hasto. Hodu, 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 hodu la Adonai ki tov. Hodu, 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 hodu la Adonai ki tov. Go over that a couple of times. You should be able to get it. Like I said, there's a lot of different renditions in YouTube, and that particular rendition is available. So just search around and you'll see it. The other day, I was going over this with my wife, and I said, Hodu la Adonai. She goes, well, wait a minute. Hold up. I don't see Adonai there. Why are you saying Adonai? You've got Yod, Hey, Vav, Gametz, Hey. How does that in any way spell Adonai? And once again, I reminded her that in the Hebrew culture, you don't say the name of Yehovah, Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. We say Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. I'm sorry for this line, but the person who was putting it on the web wasn't able to distinguish between the script block that we are using and this particular font that looks like an I. I'm sorry for that. We are using, the script blocked font. And so, bottom line of it is there's a couple of things I want to say just really about these first two words. Number one, I expect that everyone is able to say that this is H-O, because you recognize this is a Holam Vav, Dalet, Shurach, and you recognize that that is a U. So I expect that everybody goes H-O-D-U right off the bat. That's how you want to remember this, H-O-D-U. And I expect that you know how to break it out into two syllables, and that you show an H-O-D-U. So remembering that every Hebrew word primarily is made up of syllables that consist of a consonant and a vowel, okay? And I'm just going to stop for just a second if I can find a pen. And I wanted to show you something real quickly with this. And because there's a question that kept coming up. And somebody said, help me understand the difference between a sharuk and a vav with a dagesh, because they look exactly like the same. Here we have the vav plus the dagesh, right? Here we have the sharuk, right? How do I tell the difference? The answer to this question is very simple. The answer is, how do I know that this is, once again, the question is, how do I know, is this a consonant or is it a vowel? How do I know?
The context.
Okay? And this is how we know. If you're looking at this character and there is a vowel underneath it, it is definitely a consonant with a dagesh, because you're never going to have a vowel plus a vowel. Ever. You're also going to know that and so therefore that equals two vavs. Okay? And you're pronouncing the gamas on the last vav sound. Okay? Is basically how it goes. Another clue as to whether or not it's a vowel or if it's a consonant is that if it were a sharuk, a vowel, then what you're going to see, for example, is following it, you'll see a consonant following it. Okay? Just like with the knowing that it was actually indeed a consonant with a dagesh, it was followed by a vowel. Once again, knowing that it's a vowel is another way of saying it's followed by a consonant. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Have I lost anyone?
You just watch your foot there.
Okay. About to knock over the...
Yeah.
I'm about to knock over what little bit we have left of a multimedia screen here. Another thing that I want to point out to you here is that the name of God doesn't follow the rules of consonant, vowel. And because it's not to be pronounced. And so what you have there is you just have Yod, which is the Y, right? There is no J in Hebrew, so don't ever write a J. Okay, because then I know you were copying it from someplace. Okay, it is a Y, H, V, okay, right? Because it's a Vav. A, right? Because it is a Gametz, H. Now, if you had to just try to pronounce that just based upon the vowels, you'd be pronouncing Y-H-V-A-H. How would you pronounce that?
Yehovah.
You would pronounce that basically, you could say Yavah, or Yahweh, but you don't really get all of those sounds there. It's like you'd go, if you wrote this out, let's just write it out. Let's write it out. Here we go. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. We've got a Gametz. We would write that out as Y, H, V, A, H. Okay? And you could say, well, it looks like Yava, doesn't it? If you broke it out in pretty much into two consonants, right? Or two syllable sounds. It looks like Yava. Right?
Yeah.
From that, because remembering that we not only call the Vav, but it can also be called Wav, okay? This is where then you get the pronunciation Yahweh. See that? Yahweh. I think that most people, I'm trying to remember what most people actually use with the name. I think they go, they usually go Yahweh. Okay, have you heard that?
Yeah.
Where you hear most people say, well, something like, I'm not sure how they spell it, but I think it's something like that, Yahweh. Let's think about how we get that. How would we get, if that is the correct spelling, how would we get that? And it's probably, they're probably trying to spell it like that. I haven't looked at that spelling for a while, so you'll have to forgive me. But, clearly there's not a short vowel sound there. It's a long vowel. Just kind of want to run through that with you just real quick. Just helping you understand that in the song we're not saying Hodula Yehovah. Okay? And what we do, and let me just show you what we do. What we do is, this is a very good thing for you to remember. So in the Bible, you'll see the name Jehovah. Okay? Remember that? Jehovah. Now, if you just take and you change the J to Y, because we know we don't have a J, okay? And go ahead and go Yeho and change the Vav to Wa, okay? Then what you have is Yahweh. That is pretty much how that's real close to the right pronunciation. And you're going to hear people say, well, that pronunciation came from taking the vowels for Adonai and overlaying them on the Yod He Vav He, and that's how you got that pronunciation. Okay, I understand that, but still, there are a number of ways for us to discern the name. God is known by His name, Yah. This occur in the Hebrew Bible. Okay, we know the first part of His name is Yah, and we know that what we would call the Yahwistic names uses a lot of that kind of transliteration, so that we've got these three sounds, Yah, Y-A-H, and we couple that with the way that Yehoshua is pronounced, and you seem to get a very good sense that listening to those particular letters and the sounding of those letters, knowing that Yehoshua means Yod He Vav He's salvation, Yehovah, Shua. We're getting an O sound there. Yah, Ho. Okay? And so it's pretty much from that we begin to say, wait a minute, this sounds a whole lot like Jehovah, with just the J, the Y changed to the J changed to a Y, the Vav changed to a Wav. Okay? Not only responsible for that, just digging around a little bit, trying to help you understand how to pronounce or deal with a name that isn't pronounced much at all by anyone who is in the Jewish culture, and seems for the most part to be, and in fact I asked a professor at the University of Arizona, a very famous professor in Near Eastern Studies, who's a native speaker, Israeli speaker, and I asked him, how do you pronounce the name? And he said, actually, I've never pronounced it. And so this is academia. You just always will use the Yod He Vav He, or another word for it, the Tetragrammaton, which I told you last time, or he would say, I think he would say Yahweh, which is another substitute name. But I coaxed him to say, give me some hints. This was long ago. He said, well, there's a people group, and he wouldn't even say their name, that actually call themselves blank witnesses. He said, it just like that. They call themselves blank witnesses. I knew exactly what he was talking about, Jehovah's Witnesses. He said, that is very close to the accurate pronunciation. And so when he told me that, then I said, oh, well then I'm just going to go in here, I'm going to change the J to a Y. I'm going to change the Vav to a Wav because it's more ancient in terms of looking at a Vav with a Wah sound or an O sound or U sound. And so then when I, beheld that as an accurate translation of or pronunciation of the name, then I started looking at the name, the other Yahwistic names, and it seemed to make sense. There's more to it than that, but I don't want to go into it anymore. Okay. Another thing that I want to point out about these two words, Hodu la Adonai, is this. When you have the prefix la, which is 2 or 4, you actually, just one of the things you do in Hebrew, you pronounce it not with the word that it is suffixed to, but the word that comes before it. So it's Hodula. So it would be like Hodula has at the end of the Hodu, it has the la. Okay? So it's Hodula. You'll see the same thing here, Hodule. Okay? Remember, this is the sere, and it has a shorter vowel sound, a, right? The eyes, when the eyes are looking at you, it's the sound, okay? And really, one of the things that I really like about you getting this down is you can always come back to those primary vowel sounds and find them here. Let's say that you forgot what the shuruk sounded like. Because you remember Hodu, you will always remember both the Holam Vav and the shuruk. And when you've already taken and put your vowel groups together and you've memorized, oh, well, the kibbutz sounds just like the shuruk. So if I know how to pronounce the shuruk, I know how to pronounce the kibbutz, right? And everybody remembers what that is, the 3 dots that go down diagonally, right? Yeah. If I know how to pronounce a Holam Vav, I know how to pronounce the Holam, because they are grouped together, okay? And, I love the word ki, because ki is a familiar word to all of us, because we use it every day in our cars. We use it every day on our houses. And that gives us the accurate pronunciation, by and large, of the Herek Yod, or the Herek. And then, of course, the short, one, and I think I want you got that distinction made. And there's something else I didn't say. I'm going to back up and say it. When you're grouping the Sere Yod, the Shagol together, okay, the Hatif Shagol, also put in there the Shwa. Remember, the Shwa is basically just those 2 dots, right? Underneath the consonant. And remember I told you about vocal schwa and non-vocal schwa. And then what we have right here, le olam, there's your vocal schwa. And that actually should be grouped. It's a shorter vowel sound, but it should be grouped with your sere yod shagol, Hatif Shagol. You should also have in that group Shwa. And I don't think I put it in that group in the past for you. Okay? So, once again, that's one of the nice things about learning this particular song and being able to have it in your memory, simply because a lot of the primary sound of these vowels are coming out here in a way that you can easily go back and remember them while you're reading any Hebrew passage. So, once again, Hadula Adonai, Ki Tov, Ki Le Vocal Schwa, Ki Le Olam, Has silent schwa. Silent. This is a silent schwa. Somebody said, why do we have to have the schwa there? It's silent. Why would we even have it there? It's kind of like a placeholder. Okay? it doesn't, it shows that, look, this is a consonant, there's a vowel following. It's a placeholder for a vowel. Just put it that way. I want to go back real quick and say this and point this out. I know I mentioned it. The name of God doesn't follow the rules of consonant, vowel, consonant. You'll see it here, right? It starts off good, consonant, vowel, then it's consonant, consonant, consonant. See that? Vowel, consonant. You're not going to find that, by and large, anywhere. You're going to see it over here, again, probably with the name of God. But otherwise, you're not. You're going to see, for example, Le Elohim, Le Elohe, Hodu Le. Okay? So we went from the Li to the Le. Got that? I want you to make sure that you're noticing that, because this is teaching you your vowel drills in a song. You should never forget them. Your categories of your vowels. That's why we break them down into 5 instead of having 14 different vowel sounds, which have such very subtle differences in the sound that you got to wait till you're an expert with 100% pronunciation correctly to really get this. Okay, and you're going to find out that the R's are going to throw you sometimes, and it's going to have a very interesting sound. We'll get to that later, but for the most part, you're going to be accurate here. The R's are going to be a little different depending on what consonant it follows, or it precedes, or what vowels are around it. So hopefully you've got all of this. I want you to make sure that you remember that's a vocal schwa, that's a silent schwa. Okay. Somebody asked me, well, is there any other vocal schwas? Yes. Let's just take, just for the sake of just trying to do this in a familiar environment. This is not a word, but let's just go ahead and use hastu. Okay? Has. Hasdo. Sorry. Okay? Let's put a schwa there. Like that. Then the next schwa would actually be vocal. When you have two schwas right next together, the second one would be vocal. So with those two rules, that's going to cover most situations you'll find yourself in. I think there's another exception, but that by and large gets the majority of everything right there. That would be has. That'd be has. Kind of strange. Dea. Hasdea. Just once again, it's in the category of the sound. I, right? I as in key. Right?
Right.
I as in key. I'm not the greatest at phonics. Okay, I'm not hooked on phonics at all. Then going through the second verse, once again, everybody should have this down. Once again, you should have Hodu fully memorized, right? Then you should have L, the EY sound, or the short sound, le, and then you would have le, L, O, because the aleph is silent, right? Le, El, O, He, right? Because it's a sheri yod. Elohe, not Elohi. For it to be Elohi, what would it have to be? If you wanted to get the Elohi sound, what would it have to be? It would have to have the same pointing as the key. Doesn't Elohi sound like key? Are you with me?
Yeah.
So that's why it's going to be a longer sound than the key sound. It's going to be the A sound, Elohe. Odul Elohe, so you spell that L, and I was using the EY, L-O-H-E-Y, Elohe. Now, if you want to use another transliteration than EY, and I'm going to show you another one here in just a minute, that's fine. Whatever helps you remember, you know, like key, you would think that that should be EY, right? Sounds more like EY. That's fine. However you want to do it, whatever makes sense to you, it's fine. Transliteration sometimes designates it more in a academic way because it's already been assigned what that vowel is supposed to have been transliterated by. That gets a little confusing, and I'm not doing that. I understand those ledgers that you would have if you've got all your vowels laid out there, and you're going to have different, you know, academic, a key to assign an English character for each vowel, just like you have an English character assigned for each consonant. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to get at the e, o, u sound. O, O-H, oo, you know, O-O. Okay, so that's the way I remember it. Actually, I think I actually told you to start off with A-H, E-H, E-Y. So, I think I did that. Didn't I do that?
It was EE.
So, huh?
EE.
Oh yeah, so I did A-H sound, right? Then I did the E-H sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I did the E-E sound, and that's where I'm saying you could do an E-Y if you wanted. Whatever helps you. And then I did the O sound, and then I did the O-O sound. You have to memorize that. You have to know that. In other words, if I'm going to give you a test, then that's what the test is going to consist of. It's not going to consist of, you know, some, you know, real abstract piece of information or some, you know, thing that we refer to one time. It's not going to be that at all. It's going to be what's essential for you to be able to pronounce Hebrew. So I would want you to be able to say, oh, well, this is the category, excuse me, it's really dusty in here. Excuse me. This is the category for pata, for garments, okay? This is the category, once again, just in case you don't know, this is the category, once again, for the shagol, very commonly used. The sere, okay? The sere yod, the shwa. You with me? Okay? Then also, like I said, the hatif shagol, which has got a whole group of, you know, dots there, 5 of them. It's just the shagol with the, it's the shagol with the shwa. You see that, right? It's the shagol plus the shwa. That's what that is. This equals the shagol plus the shwa. Okay? That's what that equals. Then the E sound, of course, we're dealing with that right now. The herek yod, the herek. The O sound, you know, just for redundancy, would be the dot above the consonant and the dot above the vav. Then the U sound would be the shuruk and the kabuz. Okay, and so here we are looking at the difference of hodu, the U sound, and hasdo. Huh?
Yeah.
Because we've got the O sound, O-H. That's why it's very good for you to write it out that way. You're not going to forget. Because sometimes I'm like reading across here and I'll mistaken that for like a shuruk, and I'll say, you know, I'll say do instead of do. So it's do. It's do like in do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's do like in the female counterpart to a deer. Do. Don't forget it. Then, let's see. So hodule, instead of hodula, you're going to go. So don't go hodule, ella, hey, right? You got to go because you would be wrong. Don't go hodula, go do hodule, right? Hodula, hodule. Hodula because of the pata, hodule because of the sere. Okay, hodule, ella, hey. Okay, kind of helps us lead into it, doesn't it? It's nice to have the sere there, because now we're going to do a sere yod, which has the same sound at the beginning as at the end. Hodule Elohe. Nice, huh? Poetic. Hodule Elohe ha Elo.
Him.
And what do we have? A Herek Yod, right? Somebody said, what about all these other marks? Don't worry about them. You know, some of them are cantonizing marks. Some of them, sometimes you'll find where marks for the where the syllable should be emphasized. So, Ha-Elohim. Back to the key, E. Huh? The E sound. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Elohe, Ha-Elohim. Kile olam chasdu. And, you know, once you understand what Elohe is and Elohim, which is God of gods, singular and plural, God of gods, you're going to run into it over and over and over again. Now, what I want to do real quickly in the time that I have remaining, how much time do I have? In the time I have remaining, I just want to show you another way to actually do your transliteration. And this kind of reverses things, and it's easier for some people. Rather than doing it the way that I showed you, basically reading, you know, from right to left, and then reading from right to left, and then putting your English translation from left to right.
Yeah.
This is another way to do it, in which you just basically reverse the Hebrew and make it run from left to right, just like the English. Okay? And then so what you have then is you put your English over top of it, kind of brings it more into the foreground. So you just basically bring Hodu over right there, so that it's reading from left to right. You bring your your law over, just hang it in the middle, and then you bring Yod Hey Vav Hey over, and that's pretty, you know, Yod Hey Wah Hey, and that's a lot. That's very academic to do it with the Wah instead of a V. So that may stump some of you. Oh, they didn't use a V, they used a W. Right. Very academic. That's pretty much academic standard for translating that Vav and that comments. Kind of makes it a little bit, you know, maybe easier to access here, Hodu. The one thing I don't like about it is I like to see the hyphen breaking out the syllable. I want everybody to show us where the syllable is, and then tell us where the accent is going to be on the syllable. And usually it's always on the first syllable. From time to time it is on the last syllable, and that's why you'll see some markings at times in Hebrew writing that actually would show that, the accent's going to be on the last syllable here. So if you don't recognize the mark, ignore it. If it isn't in the framework of the vowels that I've already given you, ignore it. So here we are, Hodu Adonai, Ki Tov, Ki. Here they're using just an I, right, with the long mark over it. I don't remember what they called that in English. But here we are, Kile Olam Chasdo. And what you do, usually in a transliteration for the Het, you would actually put a dot right underneath the H. And it makes it, you know, to where you don't get confused with the Kaf, where you're using a CH. I mean, if you're using a CH for the Het, and you're using a CH for the Kaf, and it's very difficult now to take your transliteration and go back to Hebrew. So this allows us, this is a standardization that allows us to go back and forth, to go from English to Hebrew or from Hebrew to English. So it's valuable from that perspective. You've got to learn a little bit different system. It's not that different. They're using an I to demarcate what we're using an EE for, okay? makes it a little bit more simple. They're using an E then to demarcate what we're using an EH for. Okay, let me see if there's anything else that stands out here. Can't think of anything right now. I asked Ann if I could do 3 verses, and she said no. But once you've got this one, Hodul le Elohe ha-Elohim. The next verse is Hodu le Adoni, or is it Adonai? Tell me, is it Adoni or is it Adonai?
Me.
Huh?
Me.
It's ni. Why? Because it has what?
It has the
Huh? What is the vowel pointed for? Huh? What is the vowel in in the Adoni for? What is the vowel pointed for?
E.
What is it pointed with? Give me, what is it? Does anybody in here know? I don't have a Bible. Is it pointed with a Herrick Yod or is it pointed with a Sarah Yod?
It is.
Does anyone have a copy of that?
Yeah, I have it right here. I'm just trying to figure out which one. I think it's the Herrick Yod.
Just tell me what it is. Mike, we don't have that here.
Is this one?
So this is good for you at home. Looking at verse 3, you need to tell me, are we going to use the same, are we using the same sound as we used here in the second verse, le Elohe, or are we using, do we have a Herrick Yod under the Adoni? Or is it Adonai or is it Adoni? You tell me. So if you don't know, just shout out right there from home what the vowel is, right there at the end. What is the vowel? No one knows in this room. Is it that you have not found it? There's no one in here who's found verse 3?
Oh, it's verse 3.
It's verse 3. No one in here has found verse 3?
Oh, I was
Found
looking at 2.
Has no one found verse 3? We're real slow in this room.
It's a Sarah Yod.
Okay, it is a Sarah Yod. Okay, so is it ni or nay? You tell me. It is the same. It is actually the same. So you got Hodu le Elohe ha-Elohim. Then you have Hodu le Adonai ha-Adonim. You see that? Is it pointed with, look at it. Just look at it, because if you'll spend a little bit of time and notice that it has the exact same pointing, if it does, with the same vowels at the end of the Adonai and the Adonai and Adonim, or Adoni or Adonim. What is it?
Adonai.
Is it exactly the same as the Elohe and Elohim pointing, or is it different? Dun, 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 dun. Tell me, is it different? Hand me the computer, or hand me a book, or hand me a Bible or something, and I will tell you. Hopefully you did not unplug us from the...
That was just the charger.
Okay, you have the Hebrew, right? Okay, I want to know why you guys are having such a hard time with this.
Because he switched over the vowel page right when I was looking at it.
Okay, so when you look at it, it's just simply La Adonai. It's a Sarah Yod. And it has Ha-Adonim. So it's actually the exact same pointing, and that's really all I want you to notice. I want you to notice that, because then it doesn't make this third verse any harder than the second verse. So I was trying to make this point at home. And so hopefully I made this point to you that there's really nothing more to learn in terms of recognizing vowel sounds here. It's just a unique word, and it's a very common word, which is from the word Adonai. And you've already said it up here because you said Hodula Adonai. Now all we did was take the Adonai and we made it in its form for its singular Lord of Lords and its plural. So we made it Hodula Adonai Ha-Adonim, because you're going to learn that when you have that final M, it's a plural form. You don't know that yet. I'm not holding you responsible for that. What I do want you to do is what my point here that I'm trying to emphasize is I want you to relate those vowel sounds. and make it, and understand that, especially when we're over here in poetry, we're going to have a flowing sound that is poetic that you can sing. There's going to be a bit of a rhyme here, okay? So hopefully now you've got 3 verses. You've got Hodula Adonai Kito, Ki Le'olam Hasdo. Hodula Adonai Kitov, Ki Le'olam Hasdo. Hodu, 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 Hodula Adonai Kitov. Hodu, 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 Hodula Adonai Kitov. Hodula Elohecha Elohim, Ki Le'olam Hasdo. See, very simple. Hodula Elohecha Elohim, Ki Le'olam Hasdo. Hodu, 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 Hodula Adonai Kitov. Hodu, 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 Hodula Adonai Kitov. Hodula Adonai Ha'adonim, Ki Le'olam Hasdo. Got it? Hodula Adonai Ha'adonim, Ki Le'olam Hasdo. Do, as in do.
Do.
I'm just not saying Hasdo. Hasdo. Okay?
Do.
Any questions?
I have one question.
Okay.
On the
Remember, next time, bring your questions, and we'll spend 5-10 minutes at the end of the lesson answering them. Yes, question.
on the second verse, Hodu le Elohi Elohe. Where do you get the second E in that first part? Le Elohe.
Okay.
Where's that?
The
N?
question is, where do we get that sound that is different from Hadula to Hadule?
Well,
Sarah.
because it's I understand the le, the vowel,
Hadule.
right? The vowel under the lamed that says le.
El.
But then where do you get the F or the L? Elohe.
Hadule.
Right.
Right there's the Lamed.
Right.
Hadula. Hadula. Or Hadule. Hadula. So it's Hadula. L-O. See? Is that what you're saying? Elo.
Well, because the second lamed there has the O sound with it, so lo, elo.
Elo.
So do you pronounce the E twice after the le?
Elo.
So you say le elo.
Yeah, Elo.
Okay.
So it's Hadula, Hadula, El. See, the La is going over here with the Hadu. And so you're hearing
Okay.
it different. That's what's going on. So the Lamed Sere, instead of, in this instance, instead of the Lamed Pata, is going to go over here with the Hadu. So it's going to be Hadula. It's going to be Hadula here, Hadule.
Okay.
Hadule El. Hear the emphasis on the il? So we're starting, that's why I want you to do the syllables. Hadula El.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise you go Hadule El. Are you with
Okay.
me? And that's what you were saying.
Right.
This is Hadule Elo.
Hodule Elo.
Hey.
Hey.
Hadule Elo. Hey. Hadule. Keep the Lamed Sere over here. Hadule Elohe. Ha Elohim. Ki Le'olam Hasdo.
That makes sense.
Okay, love all of you guys. See you next time.
Awesome. Okay.
Good?
Yes.
You guys getting